Hey, what's up, guys? Mikas here for WeMakeDanceMusic.com. Today we're working on organic deep house track. What I mean by organic deep house, I think it's a style of deep house that has more layer, that is more organic, that has a feel, that has some element that make it feel like it's moving. It's a bit more subtle, it's not direct, big room, progressive house with big melodies. It's more like a churning movement, that when you get that into a club late night, it just get into you, and it's groovy. It's something that I would say maybe in the days back in the day, Sasha's and Digweed were playing a lot. There is a few people that still play that type of deep house that are still quite going quite strong. It's actually quite popular on Beatport. It's like, let's say for the people that are more into EDM, it's a bit more tech house, deep house, and prog kind of blend together into a groovy part, and I think there's not enough of that now that is being produced, and this is a cool genre to produce. However, it's fairly difficult, to put those layers together, to really put those frequencies into the right place is very, very important. To compose such track, I think you need to somehow not necessarily have fancy composition. You don't need to have some big chords, things like that. You need to have intricacy in the sound design, and I think this is what's gonna make mostly the track. Few key change, some melodies, yes, but much more sound design to create this atmosphere, this vibe, that is proper to this. One of the elements in this track that is called Comfort Zone, by the way, that is important to me, and I think it's very important into that, is the mid-lows. We're talking the frequency around 300 to 1200, where you have at the body of a track that if you, as an example, play on a really good sound system like a function one, you're gonna feel this really get to the body, at 200, 600 hertz, you have that groove, and a bit above, you have the body of the track that really translates. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do you a little breakdown of the track. It's right there in the dots, 125 BPM. It's got 30 channels. They're not all full, but they're there, and there's many synth instruments. All the drums are MIDI, and I will put on to WeMakeDanceMusic.com once I'm done with the track. It's called Comfort Zone, so if you guys know the site a little bit, it's going to be available for work. Again, all MIDI and all Logic instrument, no external plugins used. So first I'm going to play you where I'm at now. There's a few elements muted because I think they're not ripe to go in the mix yet, so let's go. So I was talking about this mid-lows. I have quite a few elements. I have two different basses, that are hitting a little bit on those frequencies, and then I have this one here. Gonna have a look at the EQ here to show you what I'm talking about. See around here, around 150, 200k to 400k. There's that chunk, and then those little hits that are in there. And then I have a brass here, which I put a bit underneath. I mean, those are not literally bass elements, but they're mid-lows, like I said, those are pretty important. Then there's another one here. There's a classic kind of stabby little groove that's a bit higher, closer to the 500. So on their own like that, really not so interesting, but if I remove it, again, the bass here, main bass plus the hit bass with the kick. And then I'm gonna rig it back again, and let's listen to the parts a little bit. I can do like a quick overview of the drum. It's nothing extraordinary. Again, it's all MIDI. Bit them one by one, trigger them one by one. The kick, some snare that are very sparse, some claps, some closed hi-hats, some mid-hats, complement, they're a bit longer, some nice little shakers, some toms, some fast rides, faster rhythm, some toms, more toms. It's a bit loud. Then I don't know, I didn't name this one. Oh, those are wood blocks. And then this really quick rolling. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's put the bass in there. Also have some vocals here. If you guys use Alchemy, you're gonna know this. There's a vocal section where they recorded some vocal phrases, some sounds. So I use that. Another layer here. I think this really brings some organic feel into it. And then there's some flute action here. Pads here and there. Then the freaky bit, which I like. So we're gonna have a bit of a look on the composition of this. What are the MIDI elements of this track, which are really fairly simple, because we're talking much more about sound design, you know. So I'm gonna unmute this. I'm gonna do this here. So those are simple hits. The bass too. The bass is fairly simple. It's like a single hit. Then I have double hits. So single, double. They're not exactly the same, but they're quite similar. Then I have some sound effects, some transitional sound effect here. That again is the single note. I think an important part if you do this is use the same key everywhere, because if you start mixing the keys, you know, you might have some notes that you're not really gonna get in the mix, but it still has to be harmonic, you know, unless you really want to twist it. Then I have a really simple chord here. Something a bit more complex with those, because I wanted the low, you know, so I'm at C1 and C2, and it's really chunking, you know. But again, look at the patterns in here, nothing super complicated. I think this pattern for this a bit more exotic is like it's a simple 3 notes, you know, right here. So it's much more about the sound design. This one has stick like a step effects in it without. I mean, slightly boring with this. Oh yeah. You have to select obviously stuff that goes together. Then you have the brass. And then here you go. I have another layer here that I keep, that I will use probably in the mix later. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I think it's this one here. It's more just a paddy kind of levels. So that's it for this part, guys. I will do another part that's gonna be the arrangement of this track and what you need to do a good progressive house track for DJ. So this is gonna be the next part. So until then, may the sounds be with you.